Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with day 19 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life Series 17. And today's exclusive sketch is by Sandra Lee. And it's lots of patterns, florals, a couple of pictures. And I have these two pictures of my grandson at church for the first time. And so I'm going to document those. I decided I wanted to use this splendid collection by Paige Evans. So I have some papers left in the paper pad and the project pad. I've got some stickers and embellishments, some puffies. I have tags and these little plastic or acetate florals. And I've already picked some things out from the collection that I definitely want to get used. So I have my papers, I have my embellishments, I have my pictures and this sketch. So let's see how this goes. So I've put the sketch up in the top left. Now, I have been petrified of pattern paper for a very long time. Before I started working with collections, I rarely used it. And if I did, it was like I used one with a bunch of like solids. And when I say pattern paper, I mean like patterned paper, not like stripes or the diagonals or wood grain, things like that. I mean like patterns like the florals and even like this background paper or the icon papers that have like the butterflies all over it, things like that. I would only use like one because trying to figure out what goes with what was never my strong suit. I am not artistic at all. This craft is the one craft I feel confident enough in to feel like I am creative. Any other outlet does not happen. I guess my daughter got all of those genes because she is extremely talented and extremely artistic and musical and all the things. It's kind of rude. But anyway, so until recently, like the last 3 or 4 years, I didn't use collections for the most part. I would buy paper pads and my own embellishments and I would make things work myself. So now that I work with collections, I know that the pattern papers go together because they were created that way by people much more creative and smart than me when it comes to crafty things. So now it's not as hard. All of that to say, this is a lot of pattern paper on this sketch, or at least like the visual. I couldn't do that. So I know that there are people who are going to be creating with this sketch who will knock it out of the park. It will be stunning. It will be beautiful. And I cannot wait. But I am still a baby pattern paper user. And so I decided that this background paper was alluding to that same concept of having the different patterns, having those little squares back in the background. And I was hoping that would be enough. And then I have this very lovely paper with the butterflies on it. I thought that was bold and dark enough that it would help stand out some, and also give me all those colors that I want on this layout, even though the background is that khaki with the white, those lace doilies. So that gives me the permission necessary, kind of, I guess, if you will, to add all the florals and the tags and all the things that I want to add. So I get the title up here at the top. I've used the word today. That's a puffy word from the stickers from the collection. It says today. And then above it, it says adventure. So adventures today. And I love how it has all the colors that I'm wanting to use. And then I'm going to bring in some of the little florals. They're not always easy to work with because they're not flat. You got to get them in there in a way that's going to work. I ended up using some double-sided foam tape and cutting them into itty-bitty little squares. I know I need those little dots that a lot of people use. One of these days, I'm actually going to be a big girl and order those. I just never think about it. I have tons of rolls of very thin foam tape that I use for when I make like the shaker pockets. And I have some thicker foam tape, but not like little dots and stuff. So I'll get there. But anyway, so I embellished the bottom right corner. I embellished the top right corner. And I have this little sticker down here that's a little banner that says "So Wonderful" that I've got on that picture on the bottom right. I decided I needed another cluster right there. It doesn't really call for it in the sketch, but I felt like that's a great place for just a small little cluster. I've got with the title up at the top and that arrow and everything. There's quite a bit up in the top left, and of course in the bottom right with that little yellow tag says grateful. And then I add this little orange tag that I'm going to do some journaling on. A little phrase says start somewhere. This was AJ's first day at church. I took him in. He sat with me. I held him for the majority of it. He did so well for the whole time we were at church. He sat and either slept or quietly laid there through Sunday school and then went to church. And it was like 5 minutes before the end of church, only because my preacher went over that day. Had he not gone past the, I'm quoting, 12 o'clock deadline for being done with church. Mind you, I really don't feel that way. But had he been done at noon, like typically, then AJ would have made it the whole time. But it was like 10 after. And AJ said, excuse me, I'm a proper Baptist. I'm going to need you to stop. It's time to eat. So that's what he did. He fussed. So I got out. I left and like went into the corridor for like the last 5 minutes of church. But anyway, and then his Auntie Courtney was there and she fed him outside. So that's what these two pictures are. Here is Sandra's sketch again. Like I said, I am so petrified of pattern paper and florals. So this is my version of her layout. I think that you can see what she's got on her sketch with what I've got on my layout. I do love how it turned out. I may take a black pen and trace the word today. I haven't decided. I'm going to look at it and leave it for now. But I would love it if you go check out everybody who's hopping along with 30 Days of Sketches, as well as I would love it if you give me a thumbs up if you like my video and or my layout. If you haven't already, I would love it if you'd subscribe. Thank you so much for those of you who already have, and for all of you for hanging out with me today. I hope you will come back and see me again very soon. So far, so good on being here every day, so hopefully that'll continue. Have a great day. Hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love, and happy scrapping.